What's up, y'all? So it's getting to be that time of the year again. We've got on 2 or 3 more weeks. I'm gonna start getting the boat ready. March 1st, I'm gonna be back on the water, and I ain't done a video in a while, but it's finally getting to be that time of the year. I've been waiting on it. Been getting fat in off season. But just want to kind of sort of show you what I'm going to run this year, what I've ran in the past, what I'm going to do. Because I'm also, one thing I'm seeing a lot of, and I'm like everybody else. I can't afford to buy all this stuff, so I'll hop on YouTube and I'll watch a video and it'll talk about, this line's the best or that line's the best. But none of it's used to practical applications. One of the cool things that I get to do with having a charter company is I can take, 3, 4, 5 different, got chocolate on me, 3, 4, 5 different kinds of lines and put them on different reels, 5 different types or brands I always run braid, but I can run, the different names. I can run, a 4 versus a 8, which a 4 strand's made for this, 8 strands made for this, and I think they go like 12 or something. Basically, the more coarse it is, like a 4 strand is more for my application, which is for like rock stuff like that. An 8 strand comes out of the guides a little smoother as far as throwing, so you're gonna get a little further castability. It's more for like bass fishing or not real rock bottom fishing, anyways. Just trying to keep it simple as I can on that. There's a million videos you can watch on it, but for the most part, most of us salt guys, we run 4 strand because it's cheaper and it's more durable on rocks. It doesn't chafe so bad, and that's kind of the biggest thing with braid is it cuts pretty bad. But anyways, just kind of giving you a heads up on what I'm gonna try to do this year. But today's video, I'm going to show you what I'm going to run this year, what I've ran in the past, why I'm going to run these, and why I'm not running the other ones. And like one of them, I'll die with BG, which I absolutely love the BG series. Not for heavy salt water, like as far as on a boat. I think that they work a lot better for like your bank fishing and your like on the beach where it's not getting busted with salt. And I'll explain why here in a minute. But I want to go ahead and show you what I'm going to run this year so that way you kind of get an idea. So this year we're going to run the Penn. This is the Spin Fisher 6. They just came out with the Penn Fisher 7, so got a good deal on the 6s because they did a thing from Bass Pro Shop. I ended up getting them for like $109. Probably one of the most recognizable reels as far as saltwater, arguably on the planet. I am going to run the Penn Fierces because I bought a bunch of them a couple years back. They're cheap reels, but they get the job done. I shark fish with them. I do some red fishing, especially if I got like younger kids on the boat because, this is a pretty hunk size reel. You put it up to the 4500, that good size reel. So I let the kids use it. It's a lot easier on them. Honestly, if I'm throwing corks and stuff for sharks, stuff like that, it's easier on me too. I don't have to fight with those canned reels and let it out. But I'm gonna explain the canned reels. We're gonna go down to the last bait caster I'm using this year, which is the Smoke. And I'll tell you right now, this thing is sexy. It's got the craziest part. This bail, you can take it. Don't know if I can get this on video or not. Sorry about all the shaking, y'all. But you can turn this thing because it's titanium. It's super thin. But you can just like, and I'm going to make somebody sick moving it so much. You can just bend it. See that? And then it goes right back in its place. I love them. It feels honestly more like a Lew's, Abu, Shimano Bass. Like it really has that kind of feel, that kind of fit and finish. They say that these things are supposed to be, they're saltwater rated. I'm hoping it holds up. I'm really praying it holds up. There's a place up in North Carolina that sells these, from what I understand, pretty like consistently for a Christmas special. I got it for like $68. So brand new. I bought 4 of these. I bought 7 of those or 6 of those Spin Fishers, and then Actually, I gave one of those to my uncle though, and I bought it. So shout out to Wayne for that. I'm hoping that reel, he loves it as much as I do, at least on the feel. I've freshwater fished with that. I've caught some bass. It does great. Those little quantums. I mean, it's a quantum, called them quantum smokes. It's beautiful, beautiful reel. And then of course we got our cans. Now, granted, I run TLDs. I'll run this right here is the old school Senator, the American, made in the USA ones that's so old. Like this is another one of those. I use it a lot for mainly shark fishing, kids with red, stuff like that. If you've watched my videos, you've seen me pull out these once or twice. I don't pull them out often, but usually it's big shark fishing or, young'uns with reds. Those are great cans for those. They can sit back and crank on them. First reel I've ever ran when I first started charter fishing were these. They're Bass Pro Shop frigates. And for the price, I will tell you, they didn't do bad. Yeah, they have some, some things they could fix. But I was really impressed with these reels. If you're looking for a truly budget-friendly option and you fish, 3 times a month, or you fish, and I'm talking about saltwater, freshwater, these things will probably last forever. But I'm talking about if you fish, you're the weekend guy, there's nothing wrong with that. These reels will realistically do you what you need, and you can clean them up. You have to understand, like, when I tell y'all that I don't take care of my equipment, like, I get done at the end of the day, I run anywhere from 1 to 3 trips a day. And when I get back, anyone from Arkansas to Florida has ran the same rods and the same reels. When I get back, I take a hose pipe and I blow them off. And I don't mean like I, hit it and I wipe it. I mean, I take a hose pipe and I go, that's it for the day. That's all I do to them. That's God's honest truth. That's all I do. I ask a lot out of my equipment. I'm tired. My boat's tired. I've got to get stuff done. I got to get a boat clean, and I got to get home and get to bed. I'm not the guy that is over there, tearing reels apart, greasing them, waxing them. I put grease in them in the beginning of the year, and I put grease in them at the end of the year. That is how I run my equipment. That's one reason that I want to do, what holds up and what don't, and how it holds up. Because, you watch these guys on YouTube, and half these guys are, if they're not paid, then they're getting, partnerships from these guys, and they pull up with brand new equipment, put in the water, use it once, and go see how great it works. No, I don't, because get online, watch us guys at Charterfish. We don't have sponsors. We don't have. There's no money coming in. I can tell you what sucks and what don't. Watch what we say. Watch what we use, because I use the same stuff. The reason that I went with these pin fishers is because a good buddy of mine that's across the way from me, he loves them. He runs them. I always ran Daiwa. He said, dude, these spin fishers, that's where it is, man. So I went and picked some up, and he had a good deal on them. It was the last generation. Let's try it, We talk a lot. I could go on a 4-hour rant about these apps and stuff that say, in order to, we don't run on the water every day to know where the fish are. We use some app that tells us where the fish are. That's not true. It sounds good and it sells, but that's not true. Anyways, our last one that I used, and I used this heavily last year, is Daiwa BG, the black and gold. It is the reel that I love the most that I've used for saltwater fishing. It just has a few issues, and I know you can say, well, you can go up to the saltist and it'll start putting, like where the thing is right here, it puts a seal in there, so it seals it out, so it makes it more waterproof. It does all that. Well, these are $120 to $150, which for a reel that is a 4,000 size. I'm going to try to see if I can hold this up. Okay, this is a 4,000 reel. This is a 4,500. You can see how much bigger that Daiwa is than that pin, and pin makes a hefty one. If I were to go, if I were to go with a different set, right, and I were to go with something like this Shimano, which is a 4,000, but it's even smaller. I like big hefty reels. I'm a big hefty dude. American Muscle, carburetors. I like that kind of thing. All right. I just like bulk, heavy mass. All right. I mean, this is light, and I hope this works. 33 pounds of drag. I bought these. I'm going to run these this year. I'm not going to run this guy, but it's not because I don't love Penn or love Daiwa. It's because they don't have the things, and they don't stem under warranty that well either. I had 3 of them that have locked up. I've sent them in. I'm well within the warranty. They were trying to get me to pay to get them fixed. So they do not have that 1 year, no questions asked, hardcore warranty. They don't have that. The Smoke has a 3-year warranty. I don't know exactly what Penn has. I think Penn has around the same as far as a 3-year warranty, but don't hold me to it. These frigates, they're, you get what you pay for. It's a Bass Pro Shop reel. They're cheap. I have no idea what their warranty is, and to be honest with you, I wouldn't use it. It's not made from the greatest materials in the world, but I got inch artificient. I needed rods. I needed reels. These came available. I got them, and I use them. I have no problem still to this day throwing them out there. I carry 1 or 2 on the boat in case a rod goes down or a reel goes down. I use them. I keep one rigged up for just when I go out there and jig up bait with a sabiki rig. Like, I still use these. They're not bad reels. That's not what I'm saying. It's just for my application and learning more, and honestly just being able to afford nicer stuff as the business is going on and on. I went from stuff like this to the Shimano TLDs, and to bigger, just nicer equipment. But a lot of this equipment isn't bad if you're not running it every day. You won't have a problem if you take care of your Penn Fierces. If you're that guy that goes out and you come home and you tear your rods apart, you'll never have a problem with the Penn Fierces or the Daiwas or the frigates or really any of that. Now, if you're a guy like me and you're going to get back and you're going to find a corner to throw it in, you're going to have to pay for that. You're going to have to pay for that reliability. And I probably aren't going to be in love this year. Next year I'll probably try at least one other reel. It's just like the lines. This year I'm going to run, I think I'm going to run 8 different lines. And we're going to see, and out of those, I'm sure half of them are going to absolutely not be great because they're, no name, no brand, Chinese, flat white box. But if I find 1 or 2 that I love that's cheap, we're going to run it. My rule that I'm doing that is got to have at least a 4.4 star rating on Amazon. Be readily available in a big box store, or those are my 2, because like XPS, of course, is a Bass Pro Shop brand, but if I can get a hold of some XPS, which I should be able to, I'm going to try to get up here at the store. I'm going to put them on some rods, and we're going to run them this year. And of course, I'm always going to use Power Pro. That's going to be what I'm comparing everything to. Trolling came out with some new Trolling big game braid. I'm going to try that. I'm going to try that Stealth. I'm going to try that Piece of Fun or Pisca Fun. I'm going to try Cast King. I'm going to get, just tie different stuff on. We're going to give it a whirl this year just to see what holds up and what don't. Because I don't see a lot of it on YouTube. I don't see a lot of guys actually handing it to a 12-year-old and then turn around and handing it to a guy that, is 240 pounds, WWE guy. And before you laugh, I take out guys that professionally wrestle, and I take out little girls, and they use the same exact rod and reels. So, I'm curious to see how stuff holds up. I will tell you, personal opinion, best I've ever used is Power Pro. That's, but is there something out there that's better that I haven't used, or more affordable that's, almost as good? I don't like Fins Up. I've tried Fins Up, didn't like it. It breaks off too much. Matter of fact, that is Fins Up. And if you see how light that color is, it didn't come like that. That is the sun fade on it. Because I don't wrap my rods. I don't put my rods in away. I leave them out. They get hit by sun for 5-6 months straight. So they get UV burnt. And I'm fine with that, because that's what reels do. It's equipment. As far as my rods this year, I'm going to run the Gold Cups, Bass Pro Shop Gold Cups. Love the rods. I love the probably one of the few things I will tell you that I really don't have a complaint about as far as the blanks. I love those Gold Cup sticks from Bass Pro Shop. I love them. I'm not a fan of the cork and those little, what actually holds that in place right here. They're right on the bottom. You know, there's those things that come down. Oh, excuse me. So it slides down and it slides down, and that's what actually holds this on the bottom of the rod. Those little plastic cups, they tend to back off with those on those blanks or on those Gold Cup. But as far as the rod itself, I haven't had a problem with the eyes. And I run a swivel, and people constantly 1.5 million times a day reel that swivel up to those eyes, and I have yet to have an eye break off of it, which is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I've had it do it on tsunamis, I've had them break off on St. Croix, I've had them break off on Abu Garcia Veritas, like almost, because it's hardened steel hitting a carbon. It's eventually going to happen. Like eventually an eye's going to break, but for when they're going to sell, I think for like $60. I think they're usually like $65 or something. Those guys, I think they're usually like $65 or something. If you just go to Bass Pro Shop and get them, and for what they are, they're great. Now you can see the cork; it discolors and it's starting to rot. I would say 75%, 80% of the people will never have that issue. Because 75-80% of the people don't fish 12 hours a day, 7 days a week, 6 months straight and that was one full season on those. That was 6-7 months of just getting beat down. Kind of off topic. I prefer, and I would tell you, if you're new to fishing or if you're not real experienced, I would tell you to get at least a 80% carbon rod. A lot of reasons behind it, but the biggest one and the thing that I put behind it is sensitivity. That carbon fiber is just more sensitive than fiberglass, and I know we can get into longevity or break-in. There's a million other things. You know, somebody's going to say, you know, ugly stick's the greatest rod. I'm about to go buy some ugly sticks. I love ugly sticks, but it ain't got the sensitivity. And I'm going to try to find some GX2s this year and throw out the back of the boat for black drum fishing, because I like the pull down. Most ugly sticks kind of claim to fame is it doesn't have a real fast tip. It's got a lot of backbone on it, which is great. I don't have a problem with that. Genuinely, I love loading up a rod, especially when you're running those circle hooks. You know, you get somebody used to bass fishing, they want to jerk on everything. They pull the hook out of the fish's mouth. Those hooks I use, they're called sticks. They're Walmart hooks. I don't run real expensive gear. I'll give you a complete rundown on all my gear if y'all want it. But honestly, it's just, I've watched so many videos over this winter trying to figure out how I'm going to do my YouTube stuff and my Facebook stuff that I decided a lot of stuff I'll watch on there, it's to sell you stuff. It's not quite the whole honest truth. It's a lot of, they pull it out of a piece of paper, out of a package. They take it to a rig. They throw it on AJ's and they go, see, it'll eat it. Well, jacks will eat anything. I mean, jacks like mahi. You catching a mahi, you can catch a mahi on anything. You can catch it on a gotcha plug. You can catch it on, I mean, I used to have videos because of the long line of us going out and using bass baits, bass popars, and catching bull mahi at 2 o'clock in the morning with tuna lights on. I mean, they'll eat anything. You didn't make anything great. I mean, you can take a hot dog and put a hook in it and they'll eat it. And I just think a lot of people, it's not, I'm just going to sound bad, it's not in a negative way. It's just, it's ignorance because you don't know, because you don't do it all the time. And it's just like if I came to your job, someone could take advantage of me if it was something that I like to do because I don't know it. And it just really hurts to watch guys take advantage of people while saying that they're being honest when they're blatantly not. So this year we're going to dispel some of these myths and some of these non-factual information. That's kind of honestly what I want to do this year, is run a bunch of different stuff, show a bunch of different stuff, show that, you know, hopefully we can find a setup for when they go on sale for less than $200. You can get out and you can run a rod that will last you years. I mean, literally, you know, rod and reel setup for $250 that will last you 10 years. You know, for $130 that could last you, you know, 9, 10, 12, 15 years. Like, that would be wonderful. And that's kind of what my goal for this year is to really see if I can find is a setup that is affordable, lightweight, and can do anything inshore and nearshore. I mean, we have to be realistic, including myself. We can't talk about, catching tuna like, yellowfin, but we can talk about, reds, blacks, sheep's head, Spanish, king, small king, stuff like that. We should be able to run all of that off of a 4000, 4500 series reel. It's not going to beat you to death. It's not going to be too heavy. It's got good drag. Most of my drags I like to have around 25 pounds. If it's got 20 to 25 pounds of drag on any of these reels, they're at about, I'm good on it. I don't really look too much at spools as far as how much line it can hold. And the reason I don't look at it is because, like, all right, so this has at 30 pounds, my spin fisher can hold 250 pounds or 250 yards of braid. If it's spools that, it ain't gonna stop at 300. It's not gonna matter if you run 20 at 320 or if you run 30 at 250. You ain't gonna stop it. Whatever's on it's not gonna stop. You're gonna need something that holds a lot more line. That big line scare, once you're in that 3,000, 4,000, 4,500 series, and there is exceptions, obviously, especially if you're fishing from the beach. But on a boat, if I can't do anything, if I can't get the boat turned around and find them in 250 yards, I'm not going to find them at 300. So that's not really my biggest, that's not my biggest concern. Bearings is a big deal, smoothness, that kind of stuff. So like I said, this year we're going to do some exploring. And we're going to have some fun. I've got a few different boats that's going to come into play this year. So we're going to expand the company a little bit and kind of see what's going on. I know this video is long. I usually don't make them real long. So it's just kind of my first one back. I'm excited. I got a lot of stuff going on. Haven't talked to y'all in forever. So, I've got a couple people that always respond to me, which, by the way, is awesome. Thank y'all. The ones that don't, I don't blame you. I wouldn't talk to me either. I'm ugly as a mug, but I do love to fish. I genuinely do. Even the ones that tell me I suck, I love it. Thank you. I mean, only way you're going to get better is have somebody tell you suck with absolutely no advice on how to get better. That makes me happy. Couldn't do it without y'all either. Yeah, that's it, y'all. Hopefully I'll get a video of the boat. We're going to change the impeller, put a new propeller on it, changing the pitch on it, get her splashed. I'm going to do a wet sand on it, I think. And just going to kind of come with me here in the next couple of weeks as we get the season ready. I'm slowly getting used to the camera being in front of my face. It used to just not work out real well for me. I'm looking like a hippie. I gotta get my hair cut. Like I said, it's been a bad winter. I had my hernia surgery. I sat out for 2 months. I ain't really been able to do nothing. And so the only person I've talked to is the old lady. So I'm gonna talk a lot. I mean, a lot. Anybody knows me knows I like to talk, but now I'm gonna talk even more, at least till the season starts. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for watching. If you have any questions, concerns, complaints, put them down there. I will appreciate all I can get from y'all. All right, let's get ready to do it to it.